Mark your calendars because Cheekwood is throwing its very first community celebration, June 3rd through June 7th. And guess what? You're invited. Enjoy 5 days packed full of fun for all ages, from free yoga and $5 gardening classes to live music, puppets, and even a Taylor Swift dance party. And when the sun goes down, catch the Princess Bride under the stars or a Shakespearean cocktail crawl. It's all happening at Cheekwood. Learn more at cheekwood.org. Today on CityCast Nashville, we're diving into our recent citywide property reassessment. Median values soared by 45% this cycle, and some folks are freaking out. Vivian Wilhoit, the assessor of property for Nashville and Davidson County, is here to explain how the process works. And hey, stick around after the interview for a conversation with Emily Luxon, Director of Communications for Cheekwood Estate and Gardens, about their inaugural community celebration sponsored by Cheekwood. It's Monday, May 5th. I'm your host, Marie Cecile Anderson, and this is what Nashville's talking about. Property assessment just came out. Median increase is up 45%. That's the largest increase in history. Actual assessments have been mailed out to homeowners. What do people need to know?
While the assessment notices have been mailed out to property owners, they can also view their value, their new value online. So that is at padctn.org. PA for property assessment, DC, Davidson County, TN, of course, for Tennessee.org. So if you have not received your new 2025 reappraisal value in the mail as of yet, you can go online to check it out.
I can look up mine, or I could look up your home as well.
Yes, you can look up anyone's home that you like if their name is being revealed. You know, if you're a little Gladys Kravis, you may be too young. First of all, people should know that by law that we must provide them market value under a mass appraisal approach. And when I say mass appraisal, that is where we are valuing a large group of properties. In the Davidson County case, more than 281,000 parcels. So we must value those properties periodically, and this is so presently is every 4 years for ad valorem tax purposes. It is not a procedure designed to raise money for the county. It's revenue neutral. The law says that the county, mayor, metro council, just the county government in general, cannot get a windfall of revenue as a result of the reappraisal. Because in this case, values have gone up.
Nashville's a hot commodity.
Nashville and all of Davis County is a destination for the world. And the thing is that the people that buy their property for it to depreciate. They bought it for it to appreciate, right? So we're actually recognizing value, what we believe is a value opinion, what their property is worth. But like I stated, the county can only collect the same amount of money in revenue that it collected in the previous year on existing construction. While some may have gone up, some may have stayed the same, some may have gone down. However, I will say this, Nashville is a hot market. It's not many of the properties that has not appreciated, just like bubblegum is no longer a penny, okay? So we do our job in accordance with the law. And what we want people to know is they can appeal. We don't take it personal. And now we are in the first phase of appealing your property value called the informal review. That's what we want people to know. They can take advantage of the appeals process. So you get your notice in the mail, you say, oh my goodness, Vivian has lost her mind. Or, oh my goodness, Vivian and her staff cannot believe that my property is worth this much. Go online at our website at padctn.org, put in your address, and you'll be able to kind of see what properties are selling for around your neighborhood. And when you see your property and select your property, there will be the tab that says appeal review. And that gives you opportunity to click on that. And with the comparable sales that are out there, you can select the sales that you believe justifies what you believe your property should be worth. If you cannot put together your informal review online, which we make it very easy, but maybe it may be, difficult for some who may not be computer knowledgeable about a lot of things or what have you. They can call us at 615-862-6059 and we'll do it for them.
But to even simplify it more, does this mean that our homes are worth more? The actual homes, the land is worth more? Everything is going up?
I wouldn't say everything is going up, but it does mean that your home is worth more because that's what we're seeing when we do comparables to properties that have sold within the last year. And it may not be worth more by the median increase of 45%. It could be worth more by 20% under the median increase. And, Marie, you have a home?
I do. I'm a new homeowner. I've lived here 1 year.
And so let me ask you a question. Do you want your home to go down in value or up in value?
No, I would really like for it to go up.
What helps to establish that increase in value is market behavior. People going out, buying homes around you at a higher price.
Well, so let's talk about Mayor Freddie O'Connell. It's expected that Mayor Freddie will ask Metro Council to raise property taxes.
Well, let's be clear. He will ask to raise the tax rate.
Tax rate. Okay.
Tax rate, which, ends in what is called your property taxes, because there's two things that calculates the tax bill. It is your value and it's the tax rate. Right now, we got the value. Now we need to get the tax rate. And the tax rate, before he makes his announcement, will get reduced down to a certified tax rate to ensure that the county does not get a windfall of revenue as a result of the reappraisal. So the tax rate is going to go down to a revenue neutral tax rate. And then once that is established and agreed that it is the tax rate for a revenue neutral return, then the mayor and the Metro Council can propose increasing it.
What do property taxes actually pay for in Nashville? Where does the money go?
Oh, wow. Well, that's a good question. And first of all, in general, it goes to helping to run the city in a nutshell. And what helps the city to run? Having nicely paved roads, having fire protection from the fire department, having police protection from the police department, having educational access to good education and to good schools. So helping to build schools and helping to get books and what have you. Helping to ensure that Metro employees have competitive pay raise. I'm all about competitive pay, not pay raise, but competitive pay. It goes to ensuring that things that can make our life easier, such as having a new park in a neighborhood or having some type of community center in a neighborhood. All of that is through property taxes. And when you consider that 52%, as we know it, of the city's revenue comes from the payment of taxes, it starts with the value, and we also must have a tax rate. So it's pretty important, very important.
What part of Nashville saw the biggest property value increases?
It was Bellevue, parts of Bellevue, edge of Bellevue as it runs to the county line. It saw a 52% median increase. We also have parts of Bellevue, which was District 34. It had a 54% median increase. So it looks like people flocked to the west of the county. When we compare that to the 2021 heat map, we saw, and even going from the 2017 heat map, growth started happening right in the center of Davidson County. And then from 2017 to 2021, growth began to migrate out towards the suburbs of Davidson County. They began to see an impact. And then now we're seeing a little bit more of that, like as if people do want to still stay in Davidson County, but they're edging still out to the suburb areas. And to add to it, it's affecting the surrounding counties from Sumner, Wilson, Williamson, Rutherford, even Dixon.
Really?
Yes, people
Wow.
are trying to get more bang for their buck, and they are willing to move out far enough, be able to get more land, more home for their buck versus getting very small properties and on smaller lots.
I would like to talk about downtown a little bit, though. So, downtown office building values are down.
Well, I think people have discovered that they can do work from home. They don't
Ah,
need the space as much. I think that was discovered even more so in the COVID time. And so as a result of that, vacancy rates are up.
that makes sense as I sit here working from home right now.
Look at
Um,
you. Look at
look
that.
at me.
Look at that. You see
That's
how
right.
you're impacting downtown?
I know. Should I apologize? I don't know.
And I will tell you this, I have my good friend, my ride or die, my chief deputy of operations sitting next to me. And he's reminded me, Randy Ward. Say hello, Randy.
Hello, how's everybody doing?
Not to get off the topic, but could we wish Randy a happy birthday today? It was his
Oh,
birthday.
absolutely. Happy birthday, Randy.
Thank you very
On
much.
CityCast.
Absolutely. He's 10 years young.
Yes.
We got him working here. He's working the sweatshop. We sorry. But what he was just saying to me, making me laugh, was that, being one of the deputy appraisers for our employees, for the employees here, we cannot work from home. We must be able to get out because we must do visual inspections.
Yes, you are sitting in a conference room, obviously, right there, working, not at home. You don't have the crest of Nashville behind you at your home?
Definitely not in my home, right?
No. Cowboy Up Nashville. Music City Rodeo, Nashville's first and only PRCA rodeo, is coming to Bridgestone Arena for 3 unforgettable nights featuring the world's top pro rodeo athletes and live music from Nashville legends. Reba on May 29th, Jelly Roll on May 30th, and Tim McGraw on May 31st. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com, each night ticketed separately. For more information, visit MusicCityRodeo.com. If you haven't heard yet, Cheekwood is hosting their very first community celebration, June 3rd through June 7th. That's 5 days packed full of fun for all ages. During the day, you can come and enjoy free yoga with Small World Yoga. Explore a musical petting zoo brought to you by our friends at the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. Catch performances by the Nashville Opera or the Nashville Puppet Truck. There will also be a friendship bracelet making station, animals from the Nashville Zoo. Oh, and how could I forget? $5 gardening classes for the whole family. Then, as the sun sets, grab dinner from one of the many food trucks and watch The Princess Bride under the stars. Or sip your way through a Shakespearean cocktail crawl, courtesy of the Nashville Shakespeare Festival. You can also catch an evening with Grammy Award winner Rodney Crowell, dance to music from Sonny Dada and his 12-piece band, or sing along to everyone's favorite Beatles songs with Forever Abbey Road. There's something for everyone of all ages, so come on by. Learn more at cheekwood.org. This Mother's Day, if you're fortunate enough to have a great mom in your life, do not forget to call her like I did last year. To make it up to my mom this year, I am showing up with an Aura digital frame fully loaded with adorable photos of, well, me. I picked out the most ridiculous photos I could find, like baby me eating a houseplant or that awkward senior pic where I'm hugging a fence for some reason. After we have a good laugh, I'll show my mom how easy it is to swap out the pictures so she can add in shots of her grandkids too. Aura Frames was named the best digital photo frame by Wirecutter and featured in 495 gift guides last year. I know my mom will love it, and no matter who you give it to, they will too. Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver mat frame. That's auraframes.com. Promo code CityCast. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. How worried should some homeowners really be about their tax bill this year?
Well, we have a couple things that we still have to be identified before people want to even think about worry. First of all, as I stated before, you have the option to appeal. We may have some highs that may need to be adjusted. We don't think that we've done a bad job. We think that we've done a 99%, 100% great job in wanting to ensure that the value we provide those here in Davidson County are fair and equitable. We have to provide fair and equitable values, and our procedures are under constant review by the state of Tennessee that governs us. The state of Tennessee governs us, not the Metro Council and the mayor, but it's the state of Tennessee and our procedures that we must follow along with the laws that have been passed by the state of Tennessee legislators. So first, don't worry in reference to that. Also, you can provide information regarding your house. You may have had a fire in your home and we're not aware of it. It hasn't been repaired. Your home is not livable. You can't reside there because of some of the damages that you've experienced as a recent storm. We want to hear about those things. We're going to trust you, but we're going to also verify. So those are different things that you would share with us in the informal review stage. Now, Marie, you have another opportunity. Property owners have yet another opportunity to appeal their value. And it happens when either you choose not to go through the informal review or you get the decision from the informal review and you're not happy with that decision. So guess what? You can appeal to the Independent Metro Board of Equalization. And that is a board that is established by 5 members of your peers from the community. It is appointed by the mayor and they're confirmed by the Metro Council. When it is time to do an appeal or to establish your appeal to the Metro Board, Independent Metro Board of Equalization, you'll be able to begin to do that on May the 12th through June the 27th.
Will this affect renters too, or is it just homeowners?
It could affect renters, and this is what I mean. We value more than 281,000 parcels in Davidson County of both commercial and residential properties. Well, commercial property or apartment buildings. If that person lives in an apartment building, they too are getting a new value, right? So when they get that new value, the apartment owner, building owner, may appeal. We see many of the commercial properties appeal. And once they've gone through all of the steps of appealing, and let's just say, for instance, they went to the state and they got an adjustment in their value. Well, what happens is that whatever the tax rate that the mayor announces, that is what tells them how much they're going to pay. The value does not tell them how much they'll pay. The tax rate is what decides how much is going to be paid. Now, with your value going up, you can easily assume that you could possibly be paying more in taxes. But that tax rate is very important, and the tax rate must be set, which I think we're going to be hearing more about that pretty soon. And then once they get that tax bill, when you talk about renters, the property owners could very well take, let's just say you got 10 renters in a building that's worth, there's no building that's worth $10,000. Let's just say $10,000. What most likely that owner is going to do is pass that bill off to you by prorating it between the 10 renters and pass it on to you.
That makes sense. Well, so the appraisal cycle is getting shortened to 3 years instead of 4 from now on. Why is that?
Well, there was a couple of things that we saw that we learned. One of them is the sticker shock that you just talked about from the anxiety that people will get going 4 years down the road, right? That reduces that sticker shock by reducing the length of time. Then there was something that was pretty important, I do believe, to Davidson County property owners who qualify for the tax freeze and relief program. Those who get the relief program, there is what is called a ratio that is applied to their benefits, and they are getting less in benefits. So we don't want them to get less in benefits where there is a need for those, especially those who are of a low income, to be able to pay their taxes.
How can people freeze their property taxes?
I'll answer that question. Then I'm going to tell you where you go. You can freeze your property tax rate, which would keep your taxes of what you pay under the lowest rate. You will contact the trustee's office, and you can reach the trustee's office at 615-862-6330. The deadline just passed, which was April the 5th. But I say call. It is with great fortitude you should, and ask about it. And the criteria has to do with your age. Your criteria has to do with your income. And at one time, the income was much lower than what it is now. I'm giving a shout out, and I'll continue to give him a wonderful shout out to the hard work of Representative Harold Moses Love Jr., the increase in the income that a person can receive increased exponentially so that more people can qualify. And I am so happy he did that. He worked with my sweet bae across the hall and myself in order to get that done. But he worked mostly with the state of Tennessee legislators. So that is available all across Tennessee.
It seems like y'all have really thought of everything, and I appreciate you explaining why this reappraisal process and property taxes in general are so important for our city. But people are still going to complain about them being too high.
People complaining, we're in America where that is your right. Freedom of speech and wanting to give an opinion about something that you think that we should do better is your right. Such as the fact it's your right to appeal. It is your right, and we want you to exercise that right. But getting to the point in reference to complaining, that's okay. You would then, once you know that that is going to happen and what level, you want to contact your Metro Council representative for your district to express your concern about what is being proposed. That is the liaison between the mayor and you. You want your council person to represent you and your thoughts and your vision and align themselves with what you believe. Now, they may not always do that, but on the most part, I know that they will. And so that is where you want to make sure your voice is heard. We are all about here at the Office of the Assessor of Property, all about ensuring that people know where to go for things, which is why when people say that we are the tax assessor, we said, no, we're not the tax assessor. I am the property assessor, the formal name that is dictated in law. I am and my title is the assessor of property. I have an amazing group here who are certified in various ways to help make sure that we provide fair and equitable values. So we don't run away from the responsibility of what we've been instructed to do. I don't run away from that responsibility. I always appreciate that's a good word, appreciate, that we use here. But I always appreciate the opportunity to share and to have my amazing staff share with the constituent about how we got there, what is that we're looking at. And we love the fact that being that we have 2 ears and one mouth, that means we listen twice as much as we speak. We want to hear from the consumers and we want to hear from the property owners about what they know about their property that we might not know. So it's okay. It's okay that they appeal, and it's okay that they speak their mind about what they see. And I think that since I've been here in 2016, I think we found common ground, and we've made some people pretty happy and satisfied that we're open and transparent, and that's what we'll always be.
Wow. Well, Vivian, this has been incredibly helpful. You have no idea. You just made sense of it all for me. But if folks do want more information, are there meetings that they can attend to learn more?
I am so glad that you asked. So, Marie, we had what was called a virtual presentation back on May 1st. We're going to post it on our website. Get online and watch this virtual presentation that is conducted by my Chief Deputy of Operation, Randy Ward, and myself, the Assessor of Property, about the history of it all. What does it mean? Why do we do it? Where do we go from here? And how it has impacted Nashville, Davidson County. We really think that this presentation puts it all together in a nutshell that even a fifth grader can understand it. And that is what we want. We want people to understand it. And I want you to let people know this. Always know that there is no dumb question. The only dumb question is the one not asked. And my mother, who is past a school teacher to her core, she always said that, and I mean that. Ask that question, because the question you may ask may help somebody else to understand it too.
This has been so wonderful. I've really enjoyed speaking with you today. And Randy, happy birthday again.
Thank you. Yes, happy birthday to you.
And hey, don't go anywhere. In just a second, our executive producer, Whitney Pasterek, will be chatting with Emily Luxon from Cheekwood about their upcoming community celebration sponsored by Cheekwood. Hey,
Hey, I'm CityCast Nashville executive producer Whitney Pastrick, and I'm here with Emily Luxon, the Director of External Relations and Communications at Cheekwood Estate and Gardens. Emily, the inaugural Cheekwood Community Celebration is scheduled for June 3rd through 7th. Thank you so much for being here to tell us about it.
Oh, Whitney, thank you so much for this opportunity. We're really excited about this event.
Well, y'all have planned 5 full days of celebration, each with a different theme. What's the general idea behind this event?
Well, you may remember when we started our spring festival, which is Cheekwood in Bloom, the theme was Love is in the Air. And also right now we've got Robert Indiana's iconic love sculpture on display at Cheekwood. So we really just wanted to continue to build on that and just keep spreading the love. So this event is really just the perfect way to celebrate the community that we all love and call home and bring together so many of our sister cultural institutions who are providing special programming day and night throughout this event. We just want to invite everyone in Nashville to come out and participate and enjoy a beautiful day at Cheekwood.
Tell me about some of the cool stuff that folks can expect.
Yeah, so how long do you have? I think I could fill your entire podcast with this jam-packed schedule that we have put together. But yeah, lots of great music for sure. We kick things off on Tuesday. The Nashville Opera is going to be performing some love songs. And we've got the Nashville Shakespeare Festival performing in the evening with the Shakespeare-themed cocktail crawl. Of course, music throughout the whole week. Grammy Award winner Rodney Crowell is going to be doing a great show on Wednesday. We've got a Beatles tribute band Saturday night. Forever Abbey Road is going to be singing in the Gardens. And then another night I'm really particularly excited about, the movie night in the Gardens we're going to be doing. You can come and watch The Princess Bride with the beautiful gardens of Cheekwood surrounding you. I think that's going to be so much fun. And we're also offering Cheekwood Gardening School classes for just $5 all throughout the week. And again, there is so much more. So please go to cheekwood.org to check out the full schedule. I just can't get through all of it right now.
Oh my gosh. As you wish. I love to see The Princess Bride outdoors. What a perfect choice. I mean, this is all incredible programming. What went into planning this event?
You know, so much hard work. A big shout out to our incredible, hardworking education team. They not only came up with all of these great ideas and themes, but they made it all come together. I still don't know how they did it, but it's so impressive. And we, of course, want to thank our amazing sister cultural institutions for jumping on board with this. We really think the end result is going to be something that's just really special. And it's something that there's really an event for everyone in Nashville, and we hope they'll come out and enjoy it.
All right, let's talk details. You mentioned that those gardening classes were an additional $5, but how much will this cost in general? And what do folks need to know before they head down there?
You know, this is the best part. The prices are incredible. Non-members receive half price admission. So that comes out to just $10 for adults, $9 for seniors, and $4 for youth. But also, it's really a great time to consider becoming a member at Cheekwood because members get free daytime admission and discounted tickets to the special evening events. So go to cheekwood.org to reserve your tickets in advance. That's the most important thing you need to do before you come because we do time ticketing, but you'll get more information online.
Okay, very cool. Seriously, Emily, Cheekwood is such a local gem. We talk about what y'all have going on the podcast all the time, from your holiday events to just general programming, like you mentioned, Cheekwood in Bloom. What else is coming up for spring and early summer that we can look forward to?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for helping us spread the word on our events. There's always something going on at Cheekwood, right? So we're also kind of running concurrently with our community celebration. Enchanted Castles is our big summer exhibition. That's going to be running May 1st through August 17th. 5 locally made castles, this was a partnership with Castle Homes, which is a local home builder, are going to be set up throughout the garden. So think kind of like oversized playhouses, the perfect opportunity to come like explore your imagination. Great names like the Dragon's Den, Flower Fairy Palace, Formidable Fortress, really cute names. So we think that's going to be a big hit with the kids. And then, of course, Mother's Day weekend is one of our busiest ones of the year. Treat mom to a visit at Cheekwood. It's a perfect Mother's Day gift. We're also going to be doing a summer plant sale that weekend. A variety of summer plants will be on sale, and members of the Cheekwood team will be on hand to offer some gardening tips for you as you put your summer gardens together. And then we don't want to forget about the dads. So Father's Day weekend, we're going to have our Exposition of Elegance classic cars at Cheekwood show. This is a huge hit every year. More than 100 classic cars and vintage motorcycles will be on display. And the weekend ends with a big parade through the streets of Belmead. It's a lot of fun. Music, food, bar stations all set up. A great way to spend the weekend with Dad.
Unbelievable. Emily, thank you so much for being here to share all of this with us. We so appreciate it. And y'all, seriously, check out cheekwood.org to learn more about the community celebration and everything else Emily talked about. We'll have that link for you in our show notes as well, so you'll be just a click away. Thanks for listening.
That's all for today here on CityCast Nashville. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell your friends, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Nashville newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Toodles!